Hey everyone, welcome to the FG Podcast. I'm your host, Zach, and I'm back with Caesar, Jay, and Angel. The FG Podcast is here to show everyone in real time what it's like to be a content creator and build a following. So, we're all creatives and work full time building our businesses, which focus on building our own brands and working with businesses to do content marketing. Thanks for joining us this week, where we're going to be talking about some deeper issues relating to being a creator and being authentic. Authenticity is what we're going to talk about. So we have a special guest on the show today, Erica. Erica, you want to give a little intro to everyone?
Hi, I'm Erica. I am a social media student at Grand Canyon University, and I'm interning for these guys for the summer. So it's very exciting.
Awesome, Erica. Well, it's great to have you. So how's everyone doing today? I want to kind of check in with everyone. What's new this week? What's exciting you right now? What are you creating? You know?
Has it already been a week since the last time you asked that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude. You know what? I'm struggling to believe that it's only been like yesterday was 2 weeks that we like moved in.
Is that Dang, that's crazy, dude.
That's insane.
There's been so much progress
Bro,
over
right?
the last 2 weeks.
It feels like it's been like months.
It does.
And I think you highlighted it perfectly, which is like we suck right now, but we're doing really well. Like imagine when we don't suck as bad, you know? Like and we're
Yeah.
creating every day and we're putting in the reps and we're getting better every single day. It's very exciting to be here.
Yeah, dude. We hit 10K followers, 10.1K. Shout out to Erica over there.
Heck yeah.
Because
thank you,
Erica was in the
Erica.
room when we found the format that made us take off. And that shit was dope. Yeah.
Very nice.
Angel over here's got a good flow with the old footage. He's starting to cut up vlogs, and they're good. They are good. I started vlogging. Jay posted his first reel. The style was fire.
And wow, it is
Thank you.
performing very well too. I mean,
Dude,
every
yes.
day we're still getting
That's
likes and likes and likes,
Yeah.
and all that music reposted it finally.
Oh,
Did
did
they
they?
really?
Yeah, they texted me last night and
Because
they.
I hit him up. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I saw the message and they
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, we were going to post it. We were going to ask you guys about it." So
Okay, cool.
If they
Congratulations.
reposted it, they didn't accept the collaborator
I don't
post.
think they know. Maybe. I don't think they have one video on there.
People piss me off.
But
But
they probably don't know how to use it.
Yeah,
honestly.
I am not even kidding.
God damn it! And then Zach over here editing the longer videos. He made the intro video. It's been a journey, but we made it.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
we're really getting a flow. And
Yeah,
me
we are.
talking about it, it's only been 2 weeks. What do you might ask her? Hey man, I'm candid.
What is she creating this week?
Oh, Erica started a new format. On like she's been going on the street and just asking random
Oh, it
strangers.
started already?
Yeah, that started. Now I just got it
Yeah.
posted. Her videos are done.
Nice.
Did you start another format too? Or no? That was the only different one, right?
I did start a vlog today, so
Oh hell yeah! She's starting a vlog, and now she's on the pod.
Should we all vlog? At least have one vlog a week or something?
Yeah, we
Everybody?
should all vlog. Like, if we can get in the habit of it, because I remember when it was hard to post on all the platforms.
Yeah.
I just had to build a habit. Now every time I post, I feel empty if I don't post on every platform.
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck, I'm not doing the job.
So the vlog is going where? YouTube?
YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. So like we are gonna experiment because
Are you gonna
Erica.
drive traffic or no?
Huh?
Are you gonna drive traffic to YouTube? Or are you just gonna have them
Yeah.
stand alone on TikTok and
I don't know. That's a choice. Do you have something to say?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends how it does. The idea I was thinking of like putting like the rest of the vlog is on YouTube, but also vlogs have been taking off. 2 to 3 minute vlogs have been taking off on TikTok.
Mm.
So if we do a vertical style, there's a lot we can do there. We just got to figure out our strategy. We
'Cause
started.
right now with YouTube Shorts, I showed you, right? They added a link where you can link to the longer video.
Oh,
Straight on the video.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
That's cool.
it's like great timing
Mhm.
for everybody.
So I guess you guys didn't really answer my question, but it's exciting to hear what's going on. I thought that's what you asked. Well, I kind of want to just check in with everyone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We've been working hard. We're here a lot of hours. You know, we're working very hard. I just want to have a little mental health check in with everyone. How's everyone feeling? Are you guys excited? Are you
Sorry.
stressed? Like,
I feel
what are you
good.
feeling right
I'm a
now?
little tired because I got woken up by like crazy thunder last night. Like
That was
crazy.
crazy.
I was like, whoa.
Oh, you
My
heard it
dog
too?
was like right
Yeah.
here. And like she wouldn't leave until like this morning. But other than that, I feel good. I had some pretty good sandwiches on Friday. And yeah,
I love a good thunderstorm.
dude,
It
me
makes you feel
too.
cozy
I
inside.
respect it.
Yeah.
I feel human.
I didn't hear anything last night, but I have been, dude. Yeah, it's been like it's weird. It's like when you find something that really like this happens, dude. I was telling Jay, it's like when I would like meet girls that would really inspire me, and I would create these incredible romantic acts of like, they were over the top, but it was just like coming out of me. And like here with the, I think a love bomb is comes with a negative connotation, doesn't it?
I don't.
I think so. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, I don't do it.
I've never
I
heard
don't.
of it,
I
but
never
like
did
the
it with
name,
like
Love Bomb.
like malice. I never did. But anyway, back to the point is that when I'm here, it just comes out of me, and I'm just like, oh fuck, it's 8 p.m. We should go home. We should go home because we have to be back at 7. Yeah, it's great, man. It's just fucking amazing. Energized as fuck.
I'm stressing out because I am moving back to school in like 2 weeks. So
Oh, it's
been a
already
little
2 weeks
stressful.
away.
I know.
Oh man.
I know.
Wait, why are you stressed?
Just packing and all that stuff, and then like I just bought my $300 parking pass yesterday.
Oh
so
crap.
Jesus.
For the
Yeah.
semester?
the year.
Oh, the year. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, but it's just a lot. But that's all right. Yeah.
Nice.
So, Erica, I wanted to ask you, since you're kind of winding down your internship right now, how was the experience interning with De La Story, and what did you learn, and what are you going to do? When you go back to school, how are you going to take what you learned and apply it?
I mean, it was super fun. Like Caesar, Angel, like everyone here just kind of gave me like creative freedom, which I really liked, and like you guys are very accepting of me. I mean, like we literally bumped into each other across the street. Like that's how I got
Yeah.
this internship, and so it's really crazy. But yeah, I feel like I learned a lot about like how fast a social media can like take off. It literally took like a month and a half for you to gain like 10,000 followers, which is like insane. And it just came from like constantly brainstorming and like getting ideas flowing and like constantly posting. Yeah, I learned a lot. And then Angel started teaching me DaVinci.
Hmm.
So I'm like starting to learn
What?
how to edit. Yeah,
Very cool.
very cool.
Did you learn anything about yourself?
About myself, probably like not to hold back as much and like just kind of let that creative juice flow, you know?
I think that's a perfect segue into our topic of discussion for this week, because holding back is kind of part of what I wanted to talk about. What we're going to talk about today is authenticity. And last week we talked about the creative process and, what the creative process looks like for us. And sometimes we get inspiration from all sorts of different places and people on social media and elsewhere. But what does it take to truly be authentic? Because I think, as we've all kind of mentioned, authenticity is really what helps sell to a certain extent what we're doing. So I wanted to start with a quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was a famous writer and essayist. And it is, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." So I just wanted to start off talking about, what does it take to build authenticity and trust with an audience? Because, for Caesar and Angel specifically, like you guys have done a really good job at that. Like the companies who are approaching you to make videos, people who follow you and, go to the restaurants or to the places that you're advertising, you've clearly built some trust with your audience. And I just want to know, like, how did you go about doing that?
I think it kind of started off with like looking inwards, self-reflection. I guess learning about myself first, and then once I realized like who I feel I am, that gives me more confidence to just be who I am. I don't know if that makes sense. What do you think about that? Because I feel like through our philosophical conversations and this pursuit for like knowledge and self-improvement, it's allowed me to discover more of like what I actually enjoy versus what society wants me to enjoy. And so by doing that, I feel more confident in maybe some of the things that I say, or in the way that I like to behave, that maybe reflects to other people in the sense that.
Do you feel like it's made you more successful kind of tuning into what you want to do, not what society or social media or the algorithm wants you to post, but kind of, guided by your own light?
I guess potentially. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm completely successful, or it doesn't necessarily feel like that. Just kind of feels more along the lines of like surrounding yourself with like like-minded individuals. So it just feels like you have like more friends now than anything else. Yeah. So I feel like you start stating opinions or the way you think, and it starts like you start surrounding yourself with a community that is like-minded, and so you feel more comfortable with what you want to show off or what you want to reveal. Yeah.
The question is like, what was the question? Like, it's about authenticity, right? How do we?
Authenticity and trust. How do you build it? How do you maintain it? Why is it important?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I was saying like discovering yourself first
Yeah.
is how that leads into
Yeah.
a better community.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to make sure that Zach didn't get upset at me again.
Wait, all the
No.
rules.
I think the way that we make content, the way that I decided to make content, is the only way that the best way that I could make content, and it was like, I think it's the truth. It's like, yeah, I have this tattoo, right, and it gets more real and more real. It says searching for the truth. I think when I was thinking of like, how do I become successful? What does success mean in my life? I don't know. So somehow I got here where I realized that my best version of myself is when I'm being authentic. Anything other than that, I am not as powerful. I don't move as fast. I don't. I'm not as charismatic. I'm not. There's this self doubt in me, and so like my whole mission is to get rid of my self doubt. And to get rid of my self doubt, the way that I do it is if I understand that, oh no, I'm being 100% authentic to myself. Like that is the truth. That is who I am. And so when I make content, it's not about if I pretend to do something for like views or for whatever, something that I know is not like within my values, then I'm constantly shitting on myself, right? And so and because of that, it bleeds into the rest of my life. Like I'm not as confident in sales. If like I feel like it's just like I feel like I'm wasting time. So the question of like how do we build the audience, I think comes from that. It comes from me just trying to live or us trying to live an authentic life, because that's like where we're our most powerful. I'm trying to like word it right, and this is the first time that I'm trying to express it, but that's where like nobody can tell me anything because I know like what I know that I'm being 100% real. And like I'm not worried about competition because I know that I made this shit, and like the skill is in me and the power is in me. So like, okay, if you want to take advantage of me for like the week or whatever, you want to take credit for what I did, great. But I know in the long run, if I do this for 10, 20 years, it's the results like are gonna I'm just gonna get what I want.
Like Jay, like whenever you made your reel, like how did you feel whenever you were making that? Because at least in the final product, I felt like I was just talking like right next to you. It felt just like you. It felt so authentic.
Well,
That's probably why I loved it so much.
Well, to answer his question first before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I think you hit it like right. What is it? Right on the head? Right on the nail?
The nail's
Hit
head.
the nail on the head.
Yes. Yes, you were right there. You were right there.
I think it takes a journey like of you growing up and seeing things and kind of like you said, finding your place, because then you start to feel it come out when it's not real. You're like, nah, this is not what I want to do, or this is not. You kind of feel it. I think you felt it. We had an experience with a client approaching us, and you're like, I don't want to do it. You're like, yeah, don't do it. But I think if you don't have some experience, or like if you don't know or trust yourself, I think you'll make mistakes. But then you learn from those mistakes, and then you kind of start to feel it when it's not real. But I have some experience making some videos. I showed him yesterday. Like I made some gaming videos, and
Very
like
cool.
I made some content for music back in the day. I don't know. That's what I wanted it to sound like. I didn't want it to sound like a sales pitch for sure, or like I didn't want people to be like, who, like, I've never heard that radio voice from this guy before. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey guys, welcome to All That Music. Like, who is that? So
Right.
I literally just sat there and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pretend like one of my best friends is walking in. He sees the Wu-Tang poster and he's like, where'd you get that? I'm like, what? You never heard of All That Music? And then that's how I kind of rolled it. I mean, I had to record it a couple of times.
Mhm.
I would mess up like the cadence or like oh, I forgot to mention that. And then like the clip passes and it's posters, and I say collectibles and it's posters. I'm like, fuck. But other than that, it was just I wanted to like, yeah, I wanted to pretend like I was telling a good friend, like,
Mhm.
dude, this place is cool. We need to go.
How do you compare it to making music? Because it's both creative, but in different ways. And how? What is the role of trust in music?
Music
and
is so unique.
cultivating an audience.
Well, I think music is unique because, I mean, I guess it applies to content too, but man, like once you start reaching different levels of music, it gets like snooty and like kind of competitive, but weird competitive. Like you can go right now and buy 100,000 plays on Spotify, or you can buy your way into having stats, right? So right now I'm kind of in a thing where I'm not doing that because I want to keep it real. And if it takes me longer to get 100,000 fans, I'm cool with it. But I'm not gonna buy my way through it, right? And I see it all the time because I'll see like stats where on SoundCloud you can see likes and reposts. Like someone will have 20,000 plays, and I'll have 5,000 plays, but I'll have more likes and reposts. Like statistically, he should have way more likes and reposts. So I feel like it's about just keeping it real and like making music for the right purpose. So like for me, it's not about like money or girls or the fame. Like I don't even like to DJ, you know. And it's just about keeping it real, making music like with passion and like I think it's about that. It's like how you want it to come out. And so I think slowly but surely it might take longer, like you said. Yeah, maybe this week or this year you win, but you know, let's see 5 years where you're at, and let's see in 5 years where I'm at.
That's a great answer. Erica, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this because you study social media, as a degree, which I think is something that's fairly new, and not many of us have much experience with like the curriculum and
crazy.
what you're learning. So I'm kind of curious, like, what do you think is the importance of transparency and genuine connection in what we do?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot in class, talking about like what is like for like we would talk about like okay, like what's popular right now and like what apps are like people actually using and that stuff. And then we would talk about how like what Jay was talking about, like buying followers and all that kind of stuff. I feel like studying social media and seeing kind of what works, like what I'm doing like with Caesar is like testing out how things work and what works best. So I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like you kind of have to test it out. It's kind of you have to use like a scientific method to like go through the process and see.
Is it? Do you feel it's very retrospective in the way that they teach? Like in the sense that, like this is what's worked over like the last 6 months or the last year, or do they tend to look forward every so often?
They do definitely look forward because social media is always changing. Like that's something that they kind of implemented in the beginning was that like social media is not like it's always growing. So there's not like a definitive answer of even what social media is.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, they're always like looking to like the future and like what could become and like trends and things that are dying off and things like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked a lot about authenticity, but I want to give it a definition, and I want to hear what each of you have to say about this. So in your own words, what is authenticity?
Well, what do you think it is then?
I think authenticity is, and this is kind of a convoluted definition of it, but when I have the urge to create something and something inside of me is telling me, don't do that because what if they think you're stupid, or what if, they're going to laugh at you, or like, you have these social norms in your head that kind of prevent you from creating what you truly want to create. Being authentic is ignoring those voices. It's ignoring all of the chatter. It's just focusing in on internally what is important to me, what do I want to share with the world, and how do I want to share it. So that's what I think authenticity is.
I think to piggyback off of that a little bit, I think it also has some form of like integrity to where you stand. I feel like because I feel like the opinions of others can be okay if you agree with that perspective. And so like if you agree with that perspective, then you're being authentic to your beliefs, but also being malleable in the sense that your opinion could change, like maybe a type of openness. I don't know. I guess I'm a little unclear on that. What do you think, Jay or Caesar?
Caesar,
You want me to go?
you can go, bro.
Sorry, I just tapped your foot on accident.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. Authenticity. I think for me, it's when I I feel like, well, one, personality is allowing my personality to just feel it, just run wild. When I like dancing, and when I spoke to these two instructors, they explained dancing in the best way that I had ever heard, which is why it's so hard to really get to the point of dancing that I want to get to, and that's the point of complete freedom, where you're not in like a sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but you're really like you're listening to the music and you're fucking you're moving with whatever comes out, right? And they told me, you know why that's so hard, Caesar? And I was like, no, why? It's like because that is full vulnerability. You are feeling something inside of you, and in order to make that move really look good, you have to really give into it. And everybody's gonna see that. And so you have to be okay with whatever when you put it out there, you have no control anymore of what people are gonna say or think. And that for me is also the same way that I approach my personality. Like sometimes I have like I'm a weird guy. Like I'm just I say weird shit. I'm like a quirky guy. Like, but I had to be okay with that. I learned to be okay with that in college. To not throttle my personality because I would throttle it because I thought like, oh, that's gonna be weird in this moment. And the more I get, I think the travel helped me out a lot. The more I just let myself go, the more that I found that people tended to respect me and admire me because of like just being me, you
That's
know?
a great point because I think I told Erica, but like I think I get along with you very well because you remind me of one of my little cousins, Alex. He lives in LA right now.
Mhm.
He goes to Mount Sac University. But yeah, you guys are very similar. And I think if you would have throttled it in front of me, like I would still like you, but I wouldn't feel that connection, you know? But you just never know who you're gonna
Right.
connect with because of like he gets all excited like you. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like from here to like here. And I ride it and I go with him, yeah.
Yeah, and so the other thing I guess was that allowed me to become more authentic was the understanding that we live adopting the mindset that we're in an abundant world. So like a lot of the times people hold back because you feel like, oh, these are the only people. Like I won't find other people like this, or I won't find another girl like this, or there's not another opportunity like this. But then if you let that go and you're like, dude, it's a fucking revolving door of opportunities and people, and it'll never end. So fuck it, I'm just gonna be myself, and then it's kind of a filter. People don't like you or they do, and then from there it just feels so good, bro. You're not thinking about like what you're gonna say or whatever, and if people don't like it, I mean, we read that book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. There's this other thing about within our personality type that we kind of tend to try to please other people, but that is not the way to please people. The way to please people is to be yourself and to offend them at times, but they respect you because like they know you're a different person. So yeah,
Actually, we should create a list of book recommendations.
we
Like,
should.
as we mention them.
We
So,
should have
no, Mr. Nice Guy.
a podcast about books.
Yeah, or even listed in like the description or something.
Yeah,
But
we should have a resource on our website where
Yeah.
like books that we love. Yeah. Dude, do you want to go for it?
Erica, what do you think
Go
authenticity
ahead, I'll
is?
go.
Yeah.
I'll go last.
Kind of like picking off of like what everyone said. I think it's just like literally keeping it real. Like okay, so I used to post like vlogs like in middle school and like beginning of high school, and it took me so much to kind of like be myself on camera and like kind of like let go of that awkwardness just because I feel like I'm like, oh well, like people are gonna see this, so like maybe I shouldn't do this or like like kind of reveal parts of myself. But there was just one point, and I'm pretty sure it came after COVID, where I was just like, who cares? Like literally, who cares? Like me and my sister would talk about like, oh, I wish I could post this and this and this, and then we're like, just do it. Like who cares? And I feel like that kind of increased our like authenticity because we were just genuinely being ourselves without thinking about what other people would think on like social media and all that stuff. So I think it just comes from like you have to let yourself go and just remind yourself that like no one's really paying that close of attention to you, and that all those like fears come up. Well, what if people think this? Blah blah blah. You just no one's gonna remember, to be honest. So
Mhm.
why not just be yourself and put yourself out there?
I just had deja vu right now. It's crazy. I get it a lot. Is that bad?
In this position, like when we're podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Like all the time. Like
Oh.
I've had it like multiple times. Like
You've lived this life before. What's-
maybe, dude.
What are tomorrow's lotto numbers? Tell me.
Can't tell you. I already gave them away.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude. You want to answer?
I already answered.
Yeah, he was the
First
first one.
answer.
Me?
No.
Yeah, I want your answer. What do
You
you
want my
think,
answer?
What do you think authenticity is?
I mean, everyone made great points for sure. Like, I think that's all correct. I would say maybe for me, in my experience, it's like I think being authentic is giving it like your for real best try. So like you're in the studio every day, you're creating, you're failing, you're meeting people, like you're really giving it everything and you're putting things out. I think that's being authentic. Like everything you got is going towards this because I think I've seen where like people, or especially in the music industry, like people definitely don't hustle as hard as me or my group. And they're putting things out once in a while and it just doesn't look real. It's like that's not even you. I've met you in person. Like you don't grind, dude. You're lazy.
So authenticity for you is giving it your all, and I would
Like
agree with
a
that. Like
for
you're
real-
an all or nothing
And
type
a
of
for-
person.
For real, yeah, for real. Like
You don't half-ass anything.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think that's when it comes out for reals because there's no faking. Like this is me. This is dude. I'm exhausted. This is what I'm giving you.
What if an exercise is just like, what are you doing when no one's watching?
I love that.
Making beats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like that. I love that book, Awareness, by what's the author?
Anthony DeMello.
Anthony DeMello. Like literally, just put yourself out. It's kind of a weird description, but imagine yourself outside of yourself and just watching yourself. Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you behaving? How are you acting? Like, just how are you interacting with the world when no one else is looking?
Huh.
And if you can replicate that when everybody is around, then you're being authentic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly
How
right.
you do some things is how you do everything, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like when if you're like no one's watching you, but you're still going hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one's even watching, but you're still like staying up late or researching, reading, doing whatever you can to like accomplish your goal. Like I think that's
Love
exactly
that.
right. Yeah.
Can I have one last thing?
Yes.
No, actually.
No, actually. I love that. No, actually. I love that as a phrase. We should write that one down. No, actually.
Dude, the last thing I want to add was about I guess the question can then be like, well, how do I know if I'm being authentic or how do I like start being authentic? For me, it's like this gut feeling. Like there's my gut's telling me what to do. Like I should go right, not left, or I should leave my job. That's really what I want to do. But like everybody else is telling me no, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And like, yeah, I'm not gonna have money, and like, how am I gonna make money? Yeah, all these are genuine concerns. These are all real, like, yeah, it's logical. But my gut is telling me to go either way. And like when nothing else in real life, like nothing tangible is telling you to like do it. Versus maybe people online that have done it and they're like, dude, it's gonna be okay. But you being able to follow that gut, that is how I think authenticity begins. And you constantly start following that and you'll realize it tends to you'll figure it out.
So everyone makes mistakes. You know, that's part of being authentic. Angel's shaking his head no, but he's probably the only one that doesn't make mistakes here. So how do you handle mistakes in a way that maintains or even strengthens your authenticity and trust with your audience? Like, how do you address that, especially in such a public forum? We're putting stuff out on social media. We could be wrong about some things. I think we had an instance recently where someone corrected us in one of the videos about
yeah.
where the coffee beans were from or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but how do you handle a mistake, you know, and how do you maintain authenticity and continue to build trust even if you make a mistake, because it's inevitable?
I think you just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I just acknowledge. Like, if it's founded and there's proof, then you can just say, okay, yeah, I was wrong. I think that is probably the biggest step that a lot of people don't want to take. And I feel that shows integrity. And yeah, that you are human. But I feel by acknowledging it, you also acknowledge the person who is coming with it versus just kind of like being dismissive. And then that also like is crossing the line of respect, disrespect, and all this other stuff. But just feeling like your audience has like some input allows for better connectivity. Yeah.
Anyone else?
I think it just comes from like ownership. Like you have to
Mhm.
like stand up and say that you're wrong, because that happens. It happens to everyone. So just like, yeah, owning up to it if you make a mistake. Yeah, just ownership, I think. is
Yeah, I
important.
think if you make a mistake, I think if you ignore the mistake, I think the mistake will come up again. But if you like just sit with it and like it hurts, but you just sit with it, it'll go away eventually, but you won't ever do it again.
Yeah, I feel my initial reaction was like, I don't know, because I haven't publicly. I don't make
I thought he
mistakes.
was gonna say,
I don't fucking make
I don't
mistakes.
make mistakes
Like
necessarily.
the question really didn't compute like
Right.
mistake. No. I just haven't like made a mistake where there's like backlash. That one there's comments where they like, yeah, you made a mistake. You set the wrong place, but like fuck off, bro. Like seriously, go fuck yourself. Like chill out. But then then my approach would probably be something like one of the people in media that I respect the most is Joe Rogan and how he's handled mistakes, which is exactly what you're saying. You get on there, you just fucking say it. Hey, I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
And he's done it with some like long held beliefs of his where he had different parties debating something that
Yeah.
he was unsure about. And at the end, he changed his mind. He was like, you know what? I was wrong. I love that.
Because I think he operates in a similar sense, and I studied him a lot. He's just trying to get to the truth. And if that truth is like something that was completely what he didn't believe, he'll say it, right? But sometimes it's like, yeah, his ego will get in the way, but then he'll acknowledge it later. And I think that's a beautiful way to live life, because I think that's the best way to build relationships with people. And for me, life is all about the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple more questions before we wrap up this week's episode. But how do you know if you're being perceived as authentic by your audience? Like, how do you intuit that? How do you know?
I think you start feeling it from them. I don't know, like
I think Angel said something about it, like, like they're like all his friends. Like, they're like, I have a big group of friends now, like when you feel like they're
Yeah, yeah.
connected to you and
Yeah.
like a friend would be,
it's fans, right? Like I'm starting to. It's weird. I get random messages like, "Yo, dude, your music's super sick. You ever coming out?" Like, you start to feel like, okay, I'm doing something right because people are starting to like just randomly tell me. They become friends and fans, and I follow them back, and then like we start to connect, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I do feel part of it though is based off of the actions of your audience, not necessarily what they're thinking. I did have somebody tell me before, like, I'm not entitled to anybody's thoughts. Like, I'm only like, it's based off of like their behaviors and their actions towards me. Because I mean, everybody thinks things, and they think things they don't actually believe. But it's the way that you're interacting that's more important, I feel, than what they perceive of me.
I think you have to spend a lot of time with yourself to understand who you are, because I think it's easy. I think it's dangerous to let it looks dangerous to let the audience really start influencing you a lot. And as a person, I'm gonna grow, and I'm not gonna be the same person 5 years from now, and I have
Mhm.
to be able to decide that.
Mhm.
And the only way I'm gonna get there is by doing what I think I've done a lot in my early years, not forgetting it. But it's just like going on these sabbaticals on my own, really following my gut, and just being uh, honestly, traveling by myself is a huge reset, because I get to leave who I think I am,
Mhm.
which is kind of I got to be this person to these people, right? Because that's who I've been. I got to be consistent. Go to a completely new place. Nobody knows me. And then I can start really thinking, really feeling, who am I? Because nobody cares. Everybody's just kind of like, who are you? And to me, the more I start to discover more about myself. So I think spending time alone and being cognizant that that I'm gonna grow and I get to decide where I'm going, even if you don't like it.
That's a tough question. I don't know. Being perceived, I feel like it can kind of like how Jay said it. It's kind of like a weird feeling because I remember like posting like vlogs and then like I would get like comments from like complete strangers. I'm like, oh my god, like that's kind of weird, you know? Like, but it's like that's the point. It's like you're publicly posting it, but
Yeah,
like when you get feedback, it's like, whoa, that's weird. Yeah.
Why are you watching
Yeah,
this?
it's like, oh, that's weird. But I mean, going back to like authenticity, because it can kind of get to your head where you're just like, oh well, like maybe this is what they want to see. You can kind of put out something that's not really you. So I think kind of always just staying to yourself, because I mean, if people like that, then like why would you divert from that? Yeah.
Wait, oh yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I feel that.
Last question. And let's make this one brief. Just I want everyone to get a chance to say something, and this is more for our listeners than for our own edification. But what are some content creators you admire for their authenticity, and what can we learn from them?
Ooh. I really like a photographer. Her name is Brooke Shaden. Yeah. She's just like completely and non-apologetically herself. And was one person that really inspired me to like really discover myself. And Casey Neistat, man. Like I love Casey Neistat. That dude is inspiring too. So I would say like those are probably the two biggest creators that I had followed for a good while.
The people that I want to be the most like the study: Joe Rogan, Tim Ferriss, Gary Vee, Rob Dyrdek, Tony Robbins.
You admire all them for their authenticity.
Yeah, I feel like they're really authentic in their own ways. But at the top, I'd put Joe Rogan. That guy's like on another level.
Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. There's this YouTuber. Her name is Ava Jules, and I've watched her for like 6 years now, and she's just so herself on camera. Like if she's having a bad day, she'll express that. Like if she's having a great day, she'll express that as well, and like literally like cry on camera. So I really like how authentic she is with her audience, like how open she is to sharing about like her life and stuff. Yeah.
I have for like in terms of content where it's video. There's this guy named Nexpo on YouTube, and he makes very like I don't know, dude. They're like 45-minute videos on. It could be one topic or multiple topics that are just scary or strange, but he's been doing it for years, but he never changed. You know, a lot of people you'll start going into stats. Oh, I'm making 45. Maybe I should go to 10. Oh, I'm doing this, and he's never changed up like for years, and like he's just keeps growing and growing, and like I just love that he just didn't change up. Like the video, you go to his first video, it looks a lot similar, obviously better, but to his last video. And then I'm just gonna throw a music producer out there named The Alchemist. He's been producing since the '90s, and like he's still coming out on like Kendrick Lamar albums and stuff. But there's something authentic about him if he's able to stay relevant from early '90s. Like he was with Cypress Hill when they first started, and then up until now, he's still very, very, very relevant and one of the best, like I guess, underground hip hop producers. But there's got to be something there that people meet him or whatever he's bringing to the table. It's just authentic because people want him for decades.
Very cool. I would say for myself, the two that come to mind for me when it comes to authenticity, Jay Shetty is one of them. I think he's very vulnerable and open about every aspect of his life, and I really appreciate that. Another one is Najwa Zabian. She posts a lot of really intimate stories about her life, and she had a lot of trauma in her life, and I think the fact that she's so open about it and she's shown so much strength and fortitude as a result of going through these experiences really they resonate with me strongly. But I think that's who I would say. Anyways, I want to thank you guys all for the conversation today. It was really enlightening. Authenticity is clearly something that is important to what we're doing in content creation. And I think we all had some really good points of view. And I want to thank you guys all for that. And thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next week on the FG podcast.
Thank you.
Peace out, yo.
Peace, Erica.
Oh, and lastly, before I finish this, we just want to say thank you to the intern Erica for all of her hard work and
Speech.
yeah, and for being here and being a part of the story that is De La Story and
We have an
Zazu.
audience.
Yeah, are you in speech? You in
Speech.
Yeah, sorry, the lady outside the door kind of made me nervous.
Is she here or
Jesus.
something?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even realize somebody was there.
Oh, wait,
Um,
do I have a meeting?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm very grateful for this experience
No, I don't have a meeting.
because I don't know, it gave me the time that I needed to do what I've been wanting to do. That's like the first thing I told Caesar on like day one is like, oh, because he was like, what do you want to get out of this? And I was like, I just want to do what I've been wanting to do. And I feel like just, running into you guys on the street, it just was fate, it just happened. And
That was awesome.
It
And then
was a-
you reaching out, you made
Mhm.
it happen.
Yeah.
You reached out. I hope you acknowledge that.
mhm.
Like that's big, dude. A lot of people don't do it. A lot of
Yeah,
people
no
don't take
one
the
does
first
it.
step. If you didn't have reached out, we would have been like, whatever.
Yeah, I know, because I'm like a very kind of shy. I can be a very shy person, so that was like a big step for me. And then coming to this, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was big, dude.
Nice.
Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? Where would you like to be?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Yeah, can I not ask
who's
questions?
the host here, bro?
I'm just sorry. It's because we have
Oh,
Erica
who's
for
the
like
host?
2 more weeks, so I want to ask.
5 to 10 years. Oh my god.
Ideally.
Okay, so like my dream, I really want to be working for social media for the NFL. That is my dream. And so that's where I
Nice.
see myself because manifestation, I'm going to make it happen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, either that or working in the music industry, kind of on the social media side.
Oh, very nice. Maybe we'll see each other in the future.
Yeah.
Dude, wouldn't it be
Collaborations.
wild?
That
Like
would be wild. Hey,
That would
what
be
the
cool.
fuck?
if Erica started
Nice,
here
bro.
now and then like 5-10 years down the line we're still like going and it's just like, oh, it's Erica.
Yeah.
But if I see Jay on the street without a hat, I'm not going to recognize. No, I'm just kidding.
That's probably your loss, though. You recognize me. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
We've seen each other like 3 times. It's like 1 out of 4.
This is like the 5th.
This is the 4th.
I know, and he's had a hat on every single day.
Except the video.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh my god, who is that? And it was Jay.
Damn.
Show it off right
It's because
now.
I ride my bike
it.
and stuff.
Do it,
Like, it
do it.
doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to like make my hair. There you go.
Do it.
Shout out who?
Show it off.
Oh, you okay?
Take it off.
Hey,
There it is, y'all. I'm
dang,
not bald,
looking
bro.
good, dog.
What is that?
Oh yes.
Oh, cool.
my god.
She got
Slay.
Looking good, dog.
Thanks, dude.
Let's end off with that surprise reveal.
Everyone thought I was bald.
All right. Peace out, yo.
Peace,
Zach,
thank you.
up in your face there.
Oh wow, perfect timing. My mother's
Bye,
calling.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
That was the lady?
Dude, that was lady was here for you.